After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Inside.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, Williams. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. It's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
On 1st down, Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. To throw is Rodgers. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. They go back to the ground with Williams. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That's fine. Yeah. We are going. Over here. Zoom.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Second and goal from the 6 this time.
Here we go. 58.
He's going to get it running right. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Hey, where are you going? Young Miles! Little 58 to 100!
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And Crosby puts it through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Hey.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Now a second down throw for Cousins. Space to maneuver at the 40. Throw left side complete. That's right. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Here's Cousins. Wright's got it. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball and where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play he did. So you've got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
Wide.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. The left side caught by Diggs. And he's going to get this inside the 30. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. The Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. They go play action here on 1st down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Rodgers. Throwing again. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. and they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack?
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Nick Perry in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line. And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. On 4th down, they do snap it to Cousins. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And the ball is knocked out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And they'll run it here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy is covering you. He's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And past the 30 down to about the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Vikings on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. To throw, Cousins. He's got a man. It's his fullback. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
We're going. Let's go.
They pitch it out to Cook. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
The Vikings on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11.
Hey, Steamer. Wait, the hot.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
They'll run for it with Cook, and he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They come out here in the eye. He's going to get it running right. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Through a couple of plays, this Green Bay defense is held strong. Now it's 3rd and goal. Cousins now. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Well, we still wait on the first touchdown of the game, but a second field goal now makes it a 6-3 score.
Yeah, I know a lot of people would call this the definition of winning ugly. To me, this is gorgeous. I'm a defender, right? I love these kind of games. The tension is high. Who's going to make the play to win it? And right now, that field goal may be the advantage they need.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And he will find the open man as Jamon Moore.
Come on.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. On second down, here's Rodgers. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Rodgers to throw on second down. And his throw here's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
That's fine now. Zoom.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. He's back to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Back to throw. He'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Checking in on Houston. It's in the 4th quarter there. And the lead has gotten even bigger. The Texans, they've got it in cruise control right now. If they indeed win, it would be win number 9 on the season. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Back to throw. He's got Adams on the hookup. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
18!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
They'll look to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Took their shot at going for the win, didn't get it. Now bring on the field goal unit, tie this thing.
It's the right call. I truly believe that. But if I'm on defense, I'm also staying a little loose here in case they want to be really aggressive and fake it.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds, and now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
And he'll take it up past the 26-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside, or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And what an effort on the final play of regulation. All zeros on the clock, and we are... So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Now a play fake here on first down. Going for the deep ball. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Interesting, they took a shot right out of the overtime gate, Charles.
I think what they were trying to do was to create a big play that would not only energize them on offense and put that thought squarely in their head about winning the game, and also they were trying to flip field position, coming from deep in their own territory. Unsuccessful on that play.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Rodgers throwing on third and long. And Adams has it complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They needed 15. They got 16 and a first down. Rodgers now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. They'll get 3 up to midfield.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
To go here in overtime. We'll be back after this.
That's fine. Yeah.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Now he's forced out left. And left side here, it's Graham. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Packers, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Somebody call for the queen.
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rats in the morning, I had me up by the morning, I had me some I had a sister by the morning, I got on a meat, no pneumonia, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture, you got the picture me, Pacific ice on my ocean, ready for the ladies, you never looking, my diamonds, they tussling, my neck and my belly, they call it for me. You want me like you, no look. Yeah, her Rex on her. Yeah, B-Rex better calm down. Yeah, if you go around, come around. Yeah, whole squad. Yeah, squad goes on me. Yeah, make some orange gel on my toes. Yeah, Farrakhan glass for the chosen. Yeah, you can go and get mad. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man, who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad. You too. Dripping my swag. Something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rats in the morning, I had me up by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sister by the morning, I got on a meat, no pneumonia, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture.
You gotta picture me. Send me calling. Ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland. You should be cleaning my mansion. My peasants disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman? And go get to dustin'. Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. They don't make a sound. Body goes on these. White paint on my toes. Jumping in the bed.